found out that those who were offered slot 1,000, or those who were offered 1,600 do not push through with enrolling in UP. And of that 1,600, 40%, ang reason nila is wala po silang pera. Libre nga lahat. Ano ikakabuhay namin, no? And so we came out with this Lingap Scholar program of 160,000 subsidy per year, composed of 30,000 for dormitories, 90,000 for food, 10,000 for transport, 5,000 for communication, 10,000 for books as well. And this can include even support for laptops or smart, what do you call this? Smart devices, because hindi na po pwedeng mag-aral sa UP na wala kang sariling ganun, or at least may access ka, otherwise grossly disadvantaged ka. And so we came out with that, and the first one po, kaya nga na-report ko kanina, ang mga 130,000 po ang income, and we might have to increase this because we found out that at least 9% of UP students now have incomes, cannot report any source of income at all. I mean, marginal farmers talagang, and then 10% of our students have 200 below, another 10% with 300 below, 500. Pagdating ng 500,000 a year, mga 50% ng UP students na po yan. But of that, only 10% have incomes of 1 million above. Ang 1 million per annum po, hindi po mayaman yan. Naghihirap din yan, lalo na kung may 5 kayong mga kapatid sabay nag-aaral. So, totoo yung may mayaman sa UP, possibly billionaire, pero hindi rin totoo na ganun kadami yun. No? So, konting-konti lang yun. So we came out with this program. On the first year, we were able to get 196. Kasi first year siya, kami mismo ang nagsisearch sa kanila. Tinitin namin data, imbitahin yan. But on the second year, we have richer data. Ini-inform na namin sila in advance, nag-a-apply na. Kaya ngayon, 246 ang nag-a-avail. Ma-exhaust na yata yung initial 50 million namin. But through reprogramming, may savings naman kami. Lalo na hindi namin magastos sa pera si save. Under the law, we're allowed to do that. And it's been confirmed by COA. So we're able to do this. And the impact of this is, nag-increase na po ang galing sa public schools sa UP. Majority na po, 55% na ngayon sa public school, over 45% sa private school. 2 years ago po, reverse po yun. 44 ang public, 56 ang private. Ngayon po, reverse na po. This is the immediate impact of that policy. Number 2 po, dumami po ang mga GIDA po ito, no, GIDA areas. Dumadami po ang ang galing sa general public high school as against public science high school. Kasi public science high school po, well, better endowed yan eh. Pero ang target namin, yung mahirap talaga, yung general public. No, and then, ang first generation, we're able through our data scientists, able to identify students through their reporting na rin, yung first sa member ng family nila na nakaapak ng college in 4th generation. Kasi nakita namin na pag may isang member ng family, ang laking bagay sa pag-uplift ng poverty ng buong pamilya, ng buong angkan na yon, at least isa papasok mo. And so, from 6% po, 13% na po ng freshman namin ngayon comes from first generation students. Yung una sa kanilang pamilya in 4th generation po. That can be 60 years, 70 years na nakaapak ng college. And then the other one po is IPs po. I forgot the IP, pero we have a figure. Meron po kaming target for indigenous peoples po. I am a Manobo nga rin po. I'm a Manobo dato po. But it's not because I'm a Manobo dato from Mindanao that we just felt that one of the most marginalized populations are the indigenous people. We have 379 qualifiers. Hindi lang po sa iba-ibang mga tribes po sa buong Pilipinas. Talagang tribal communities po ang nakuha natin. And so this is our Lingap Scholar. It's very exciting, very effective po talaga in terms of giving access to the marginalized po. And our numbers are beginning to show. This is probably our most successful innovation.
Thank you for that. And there's no line item needed because you got it from savings. Yes.
50 million na.
Now, you mentioned about passers or qualifiers but not entering UP for various reasons. What percentage of those who pass
Siguro,
Oo.
kung
Do not
160 yun, that's 15% po. Of course, pag hindi sila tutuloy, kasi, like for example, 140, we can only really accept about 10,000, 9,000 plus. But 17,000 would be offered because for some reason, hindi po natuloy talaga yung iba. Kaya we over offer. Kasi yung iba would like to go to Ateneo, Lasal. Meron mga ganun po.
I see.
So yung iba na-admit sa Stanford, na-admit sa Berkeley,
They
na-admit
just
sa Harvard.
apply in UP among others
Yes, ma'am.
nakapasa. Ilang libo yan sa isang taon ang hindi pumapasok pero nakapasa?
1,600 po. More or less. Ang average po.
Because they are accepted elsewhere.
Yung iba talagang ngayon, magkumukuha lang ng isang, susubok lang eh. So, but nag-a-apply din. Lalo na yung mga IB, ma'am, yung International Baccalaureate. Oo. So, they're qualified to go anywhere from to Cambridge, Oxford, ano. So, yung iba doon, may mga scholarship pa, ino-offeran talaga. Kasi we're talking about really, really bright students. Pero yung nakita namin, 40% talaga ay dahil walang pera. Gusto, libre na lahat, pero dami pong gastos ngayon eh, no? Pagkain,
Mga estudyante niyan, wala na tayo na to turn away. Never mind those of other opportunities,
Okay.
but the Lingap program already addresses the need
Yes.
of those who passed but cannot enter UP for reasons of financial reasons.
I'd just like to state na yung walang makuha ibang scholarship, kasi iba nakapasa, mahirap nga, pero for some reason nakakuha ng DOST scholarship, maganda rin po ang offering nun. Kung wala ka talagang makuha, hindi po ito merit-based. This is based on need-based. Kasi nakita namin yung merit, kaya nga kinuha mo sa GDA yan, at disadvantage talaga yan. I'd like to state that that is not the only cost. Kung galing yan sa bundok na high school that miraculously were able to compete with the elite students from private schools, kailangan ng tulong yan. So we have what we call bridging courses. Bridging sa math, bridging sa science, bridging sa English lalo na. Ang Tagalog po, Filipino, lahat po kami kailangan ng bridging program doon. Anyway, so merong intervention, hindi lang po basta-basta kasi ang sabi ko, part of the scholarship is we have to commit to make them succeed. Yun ang ano natin na, hindi yung pabayaan mo lahat before yung reputation ng UP, bahala ka ha. I mean, pag you swim, we teach you to survive. Pero ngayon, hindi na po, ganoon ang mga estudyante, kailangan na po nila ma-feel na there is caring. You know? I mean, that's the character of the new students. They want to feel that there's genuine caring for them.
For that answer, thank you.
Yung caring capacity.
UP Marine Science Institute present here today. Yes.
Yes, but we...
That's okay. I met them anyway, and I commend them for the work, and we work closely together. Yes.
My last question is to PERPI. And I know PERPI is a new small agency dedicated to research. And I know that you've encountered a lot of birthing pains. But just to give 3 observations. Number 1 is the utilization rate is quite low, and but I do acknowledge about setting up in government really has a lot of challenges. So hopefully this year it will improve. Last year it was 19% utilization rate. This year hopefully it will improve as we go along. And then second, I saw that the budget for research is only 15 million. Tama ba?
Good afternoon again, Mr. Chair, Your Honor. As of our record, that would already include trainings as well.
Okay.
So the budget for research is less than that amount, Your Honor.
Okay, but how much? Because PERPI is a research
Yes.
agency, so I expect that more amounts will go to research. So,
Yes,
but this 15 million represents 21% of the total budget. So I was hoping it will be more, because considering that this is a research institute.
We are also hoping, Mr. Chair, that the tier 2, part of our wish list would be approved so that we can have more research studies. We have 11 proposed research studies for Tier 2. And these are categories or classified into energy security and diversification, investment promotion and market reforms, governance and institutional strengthening, energy economics and policy, and capacity building and local government engagement.
But the actual budget for research is 15 million.
Including the trainings, Mr. Chair.
Okay, because you have to also look at your, I'm looking at your, the general administrative and support. 32 million goes to that amount. So you have to look at your overhead. Maybe we're spending too much on overhead, and less on the actual research. So I want to comment on that, no, but just take a look at that. I know you have a lot of adjustments to do, but the point I'm trying to make is let's spend more on research, no, because that's really the bread and butter of PERPI.
Yes, Mr. Chair, the heart and soul.
The heart and soul. So we have to dedicate more funds for research, in other words.
Mr. Chair.
And then the other one is, I looked at the research targets for 2026. And my suggestion, and this is a suggestion, is let's do a research on what is very important to our constituents, which is price of electricity. So I think I made that comment during your occasion, but let's put that also on your research agenda because dapat maramdaman ng tao eh. No? And para maramdaman ng tao, ang pinaka-importante presyo. No?
Yes.
So let's look at what drives prices of electricity, and then let's work backwards, and let's suggest to government what needs to be untangled in order to lower down electricity costs.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
So I looked at your research agenda. They're all good. No, I'm not saying they're not good. They're all good. They're all relevant. But let's make space for what's concrete for our constituents. I think. Yeah.
May I turn over the microphone to our research chief?
Sige.
Good morning, Mr. Chair and Your Honors. For this po, yung Tier 2 po na nakalista dito, yung as mentioned by our Deputy Executive Director, yung research agenda po na 5. For 2026 to 2040, we are now formulating a new research agenda, which will include what the good senator has suggested, which this will be the pillars of our research agenda: affordability and access, energy equity, security, reliability and sufficiency, energy stability, resilience, and reliability for the grid, energy transition and decarbonization, technology and innovation, energy efficiency and demand response, governance, and market reforms, which include investment and market reforms, which as Dr. Lagman mentioned a while ago, that we need to encourage investment through energy stability and the cost. I believe we can attract more investment in our country. Mr.
Yeah,
Chair.
but just bear in mind that dapat maramdaman ng tao eh. No? And
Yes.
prices, we always get this comment that we have the highest or the second highest electricity cost in the whole world, actually. No, so we want to debunk that by coming up with concrete researches and then advising government what to do in order to bring down electricity costs. Because kung mataas electricity costs natin, no matter what roadshow or investor roadshow we do, it's very difficult to attract them because of electricity costs. Then that's also one of the objectives of PERPI, to advise government on how to lower down electricity costs.
Yes, Mr. Chair, we will do that.
And then do you also coordinate or discuss, consult with DOE and ERC?
As of now, DOE or Mr. Chair, we have yet to have our visit to the ERC. But we have been constantly communicating with DOE.
But I would advise also to consult with ERC and DOE because the vision for PERPI is sparring partner ng government sparring partner ng DOE, sparring partner ng ERC, so that policy is not only shaped by government alone, it's shaped by the academe and also the community. And that's how they sharpen their policy agenda by dapat may sparring partner ka or else one-sided lang parati yung policy. No, that's the concept that we envisioned for PERPI when we were discussing this.
Yes, Mr. Chair. In fact, we also have visited National Power Corporation. We also have visited TESTA in line with our Green Jobs Forum and research. We are also going to partner and collaborate with several state universities such as Bicol, Batangas, Palawan, Mindanao State.
But ERC is the most important.
Yes.
Regulator yan eh.
Yes.
No? And we all know that the key to lowering down electricity is through the regulator.
Yes.
So you have to make sure that you consult with the regulator on what researches do they need.
It's in our calendar for October, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Any more questions? Oh,
No more questions. Gusto ko lang sabihin, Mr. Chair, nung chiner ko yung budget, tumaas ang budget ng UP, pinapakita sa akin. Ayoko na sa akin ipagyabang, pero ng 14%.
Pataasan pa.
Ay, tinaasan ng husto. Oo. Yung 3 taon ng 16, 17, 18. Oo. Yun, pinapakita na sa akin. Babasahin ko sana on the record. Wag na tayo magyabang. Sabihin ko na lang na tumaas ng malaki ang budget ng UP. Sigurado ako yung taga Boston University, lalakihan ang budget ng UP. Oo. Tapos kinakausap ko ng LB Remo, saan hahanapin sana yung ask ng PGH na 3 billion na kailangan naman. Yun. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. And just submit to us yung officially your request so that not only the ones you flashed on the screen kasi nagbabago yan, but submit to the committee your official request, especially items that you really feel that we need to include in the budget, especially for PGH as we discussed earlier. So with that, there being no further questions, the budgets of the state universities and colleges, including the University of the Philippines and the Philippine Research and Policy Institute, are now deemed submitted for the plenary's consideration, subject to the discussion and the submission of documents requested. So maraming salamat po. This briefing is now suspended.